Are you cold?
My feet are freezing.
Why don't you put on shoes?
I'm going to.
It's like 32 degrees.
I know. I gotta get some shoes.
Yeah. All right, engine's warm, anchor's up. Gotta go. After a few cold days at anchor here in Port Gamble, we're heading down the Hood Canal to celebrate Christmas at one of our favorite places, the Alderbrook Resort Marina. It's 34 degrees and it is cold, man. It's cold. But the fog is lifting. It's gonna be a beautiful day. These sites where the fog just slowly starts to lift right through the trees is so beautiful. So can't really complain. You know, we're from Wisconsin, so definitely can't complain about the cold. Although we did leave it for a reason. So since I forgot to set my alarm, I ended up waking up to the sound of the engine starting, which is never good because my whole day seems flustered when I kind of race out of bed like that. So now I'm going to go in, get hydrated, and make a cup of coffee. At least the first one for the day. Today's cruise is a short 42 nautical miles to Union, Washington at the south end of the Hood Canal. This 50-mile-long canal is actually a fjord, or natural waterway, forming the western portion of Puget Sound. At 1.5 miles wide, the canal separates the Kitsap Peninsula to the east from the Olympic Peninsula to the west, giving us plenty of beautiful scenery to enjoy along the way. There's also a U.S. naval base on the eastern shores of the canal near the town of Silverdale. This area is a high security zone and heavily guarded, for obvious reasons, and it's not uncommon to see or be alerted of submarines in the area. Something smells good. Would that be brunch?
Brunch, yeah. It's alright to have chili for breakfast, right?
Yeah, it's almost 11. So it's been a great morning on the water so far. We have been averaging 7.8 knots. We've been hitting the current just the way we like. It's one of those days where you feel like you need some seatbelts on this boat when we're cruising that fast, so that's really awesome. We're gonna get to our destination in just over an hour, and we've been on the water for an hour and a half, or for 4.5 hours, so it's roughly about a 5.5 hour cruise today, which is nice. And the weather, it's not bad. It was clearing up, and I'd hoped it would fully clear up. We still have some low-lying clouds. It's still freezing outside, but we're nice and warm in the pilot house, which is all that matters. Sean's in the shower right now. When he gets back and takes over the helm, I'm going to jump in the galley and get started on our Christmas wreaths. And not just any wreath, not like the one we've got on our bow right now, but the good kind that you can eat. So I haven't made these in like 10 years. I certainly have not made these on a boat, but since we have a great galley and a stove to make them, I think this year's the year. I smell somebody fresh and clean. How's your shower?
It's good.
Was the water extra hot?
Yeah, it always is when we run the boat.
I know, like it's nuclear hot.
It's because the hot water, there's a loop that goes from the engine to the hot water heater
Yeah.
to heat up the water.
Yeah, it's almost dangerously hot.
And yeah, that runs hotter than the hot water heater normally does.
Yeah. Ready to take over?
Unlimited hot water. Yeah.
Cool. You're still in your jammies, buddy.
How'd he do?
Oh, he's good. You know, he's still a little nervous, Nelson. If you've never heard of cornflake wreaths, they're like Rice Krispie treats, but way better in our opinion. All you need are some cornflakes, green food coloring, Red Hots, marshmallows, and butter. They're super easy and fun to make while underway, especially when you can watch the world float on by. The rest of our cruise down the Hood Canal was smooth sailing and speedy as we picked up another 2-knot boost from the current. We were also happy to see that some sunshine and blue sky were trying to bust out from behind the clouds, which is always a welcome sight this time of the year. As we continued south towards the Great Bend, or the part of the canal that turns sharply to the northeast, we had finally arrived at the Alderbrook, where we planned to stay for the next few days before moving on again. Set up port side?
Yeah. Maybe we'll go around the Alderbrook and point towards the shack, point towards the north at the bow.
Do you want to go on the inside?
Yeah.
Inside?
Yeah.
Oh.
If you haven't had a Christmas wreath before, you need to try them. They're like the best damn thing ever.
Beats Christmas cookies, right?
Hmm.
Something else that's the best is the Alderbrook, one of our favorite spots that we've enjoyed coming back to over the years. It has a great marina with amazing mountain views, and coming in the off-season means we're usually the only boat here. This year we had some company, which was nice to see. We pulled in a few minutes ago at the Alderbrook. It feels so nice to be back. It is such a nice place. I mean, we'll show you guys around. And we did a video here a couple years ago, but we'll definitely show you around to see what's new. I checked out the pool, and it's awesome that the pool is open with limited capacity. The guy said they are taking reservations, but we don't need to worry. They're probably going to have capacity for us. So that's exciting to use the hot tub and go swimming. And yeah, I think we're just gonna take a walk and enjoy the night, and we will see you tomorrow. You know, we left Wisconsin almost 7 years ago to get away from the 30s and the 20s and the negatives. And this winter, it's been pretty chilly here. I don't know if it's because we live on our boat now and we're always outside, but yeah, feeling like I want to go south. Are you cold? Do you need a scarf? All right. I know, buddy, we're going. Ooh, is it still slippery? Come on, bud.
Come on, buddy.
You can do it.
You can do it. I know it's a big jump.
Come on, Sol. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. One of the best things about the Alderbrook is how animal-friendly the property is. Since 1913, the hotel has welcomed pets with open arms and even has a couple guests of honor who call this place home. There are 2 hotel cats, Alder and Brooke. I'm not exactly sure which one is which, but we enjoy saying hi each time we come. Sean, are you eyeing up the golf carts?
You know, I got a thing for golf carts.
Have you ever told a golf cart story?
No. When we get to 100,000 subscribers, we'll tell the golf cart story.
Okay, that's probably smart.
Maybe we'll reenact it.
Uh-oh. If you want to hear the golf cart story, thumbs up and leave a comment below, and maybe one of these days we'll share the infamous golf cart story. And if you're out there watching and you know the golf cart story, do not let us know in the comments. Don't give it away. We'll share. Just want to know if there's interest. So cougars have been spotted. So you should stop and pick up small children, aka Sully, immediately. Do not run. Running in rapid movements may trigger an attack. Shout, wave your arms, throw anything you have available. This is crazy. If the cougar attacks, fight back. Grab anything, be aggressive, grab sticks. What a concept. Fighting back. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Ready to fight back, or am I gonna have to do the dirty work?
I'm gonna run and scream like a little girl. He can fight back.
Like when I bust out the fly swatter?
Uh-huh.
Okay, buddy. We're gonna pick you up right away. That's the first thing we're gonna do. Okay, hopefully we don't see any cougars. With over 10 miles of winding trails, this is quite possibly one of the most beautiful hiking spots we've ever been to in Washington State. And while cougars are common here on the Olympic Peninsula and have been spotted on this trail in recent months, we were happy not to meet one face to face. And since I knew I'd be the one fighting it off should the unthinkable happen, I made sure to find a good walking stick, just in case. I think we're getting close to the golf course. I hear people and I see clearing. Frost down on the ground. Struggling to heat up today. I don't think it's going to. After winding up, down, and all around for about 45 minutes, we made it to the top to the Alderbrook Golf Course. Although today's fog was still very picturesque, the views from up here on a good day are pretty unbeatable. After a quick look around and eyeing up yet another golf cart, we started our trek back down to the marina to enjoy Christmas Eve on the boat. All right, sweetie, Santa called.
Uh-huh.
He's on his way.
Well.
Does that mean Sully needs to go potty?
Maybe.
If you've been following along with us for a while, you'll know we're very proud pet parents and like to spoil Sully rotten so he feels extra special during the holidays. After all, his sister would have had it no other way. No! Santa came! Santa came! And since our little boat guy loves his t-shirts, sweatshirts, and cozy sweaters, that's exactly what Santa brought him all the way from Petco in the North Pole.
I think he now officially has a larger wardrobe than both Sean and I combined. There's our girl. Since you always have holes in your socks, I figured you probably could use some more socks.
I'm good.
Do they feel like you could wear them to work?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I definitely will.
Prime rib.
We shall see how prime it is.
If I was a meat eater, I would say that looks good.
I think it's gonna be okay.
Now that the holidays are coming to a close, we're not only looking forward to dinner, but also to moving on to a new year and new destinations. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss next week when we check out a new island paradise and take the plunge into 2021. We'll see you next time.
Hey guys, welcome to Q&A. This week we want to start things off by giving a huge shout out to Tom and Cindy from Ohio. Tom and Cindy, you can thank your wonderful daughter Kristen. We hope you're doing well, and we thank you for watching our show. Let's go ahead and get started with our first question this week. Our first question comes from Rock. Rock lives in Slovenia. The question is, how do you get the exhaust cover back on the exhaust pipe? We actually had several people reach out and ask us that question, so rather than explain how we do it, we're going to go ahead and show you. So let's show you now. All right, show and tell time. I'm going to show you guys how I put the stack cover on, but first I need to take it off to put it back on. So I'm going to take my 16-foot pole and extend it all the way out. And now that it's off, this is actually just a fender cut in half with a little bit of line on it. I'm going to show you how I put it back on. So you guys ready? No, that's not how we do it. We just use the same pole. So, oops. That's not supposed to happen. It's in.
What size fender?
That's a 4-inch because our exhaust pipe is 3 inches. So it's a 4-inch OD, so the inside of it's, I don't know, 3.5 or 3 3/4.
Cool.
So it's a good fit. See how easy that was? Not too bad, right? Let's go ahead and get on with our next question. Our next question comes from Brett, and Brett lives in Perth, Australia. Brett's first question is the exhaust stack common on Nordhavns, and why is this method used instead of venting into the water? So yeah, our boat has a dry exhaust on it, and dry exhaust is very common on most Nordhavns, and dry exhaust is also typical of most commercial marine vessels. And one of the benefits to it over a wet exhaust, which is where it's vented into the water, is that our engine does not ingest any raw water for cooling. So we don't have raw water that's going into a heat exchanger and then being vented back out through the exhaust. So it's, I guess, a more durable and kind of preferred application for commercial vessels. Next question is, would a regular scrub with a pole and a brush extend the life of the anti-fouling or reduce the growth on the hull? And yeah, we actually dive the boat every few months and we give it a light scrub. So it's good to keep the marine growth off of the anti-fouling paint, makes the anti-fouling paint more effective and sort of revitalizes it. However, there's a balance. You don't want to over scrub it because every time you scrub it, you're actually removing some of the paint as well. And then your durations between recoats become much shorter. Next is, what sort of seafloor do you encounter the most when anchoring? So in the Pacific Northwest, we don't have a lot of sandy beaches. Most of our bottoms that we're anchoring in are mud, which mud is actually really good for holding and for anchoring. However, it's obviously not as beautiful when you go to the beach. Nobody wants to sit on a muddy beach. So there's a little bit of a balance. Brett's last question is, when are you planning for longer ocean adventures, COVID permitting? So right now we're still working and saving money, so it'll be a few years yet before we start planning some of the longer ocean crossing adventures. However, in May we're going to make a decision about whether we still stay in the Pacific Northwest or move to a different region of the US and kind of make that our home base for a little bit while. So stay tuned. Next up, we have a question in from Ryan Hopkins. And Ryan has a similar question to the last one. When are you guys planning on leaving the Northwest? So we'll answer that question likely in spring, around May. And do you have any plans to come to Europe? Yeah, absolutely. Europe is definitely one of the places that we want to travel to in the future. Our last question this week comes from Todd Pierce, and Todd lives in Lorain, Ohio, and this is a fun question. Each of you get to choose one thing fun to have on the boat that you don't have right now. Doesn't matter what it is, big or small. Examples could be jet ski, big TV, karaoke machine, Yamaha scooter, harmonica, etc. What would it be? For me, I've always thought kiteboarding would be fun, but in powerboat fashion. I don't want to be reliant on the weather, so I've looked at those jet surfboards. I think those look like a lot of fun. It's basically like a kiteboard, but without the kite. But it's a jet-powered surfboard. However, in the Pacific Northwest, we don't really have the warm waters or the warm weather for it, so maybe that's an activity once we move our boat to a warmer climate. And for Elizabeth's answer is... Elizabeth would like either a jet ski or aerial yoga equipment. And the jet ski, similar I guess to the jet board that I talked about, is again, cold waters and cold temperatures make this part of the world probably not the best for jet skiing. And they're actually banned in a few areas up in the San Juan Islands because of whales. So not the most practical water toy to have in the Pacific Northwest. But as always, we thank you all for all of your great questions. And if you want one of your questions answered on an upcoming video, look us up on Instagram, MV Freedom Seattle, and drop us a direct message, and we will try to get it answered in an upcoming video. Thanks a lot, guys. We hope everybody has a wonderful week, and we will see you next weekend. Take it easy.